If you're exploring joining a golf club in Winnipeg, the Niakwa Country Club should be your first and only choice. That's a pretty bold statement, but after you listen to this podcast, I think you'll agree. While selecting the right golf course may be the obvious prime consideration, very often the integration into a new club is not always easy or welcoming. That's why in this program, we're going to talk with a number of Niakwa members who are fairly new to the club. You'll hear the sincerity in their voices and appreciate their enthusiasm relating to their first experiences. We'll also show that this is a very comfortable environment for the entire family. The Niakwa Country Club is a friendly one, where new members are warmly greeted and where a busy calendar of social activities allows you and the family to become involved as much or as little as you like. We'll also listen to Niakwa's manager, Wade Niebakken, provide an overview of the many on and off course activities that have made this club the go-to place for so many considering joining a golf club in Winnipeg. My name is Ron Pradnick, and I too am a member of Niakwa. It seems like it was only a short time ago when I moved from another club to Niakwa, but it's actually been 7 years. 7 truly enjoyable years, and I've never regretted that decision. That's why I'm so pleased to be hosting this podcast. Before we hear from some of the other members, let's listen to Wade Niebakken as he gives us an overview of what you can expect when you decide to join. Let's talk a little bit about the golf course. Niakwa has really a storied history with one of Canada's best golf designers.
Niakwa was designed and built in 1923, and we used the architect Stanley Thompson at the time, who designed many of Canada's greatest golf courses and is recognized as Canada's top architect and maybe one of the best of all time. So we're very fortunate. We've have a great golf course, great design, and it's definitely stood the test of time.
It has stood the test of time, and like so many of his golf courses around the world, but particularly Canada, Stanley Thompson really was the leader in golf course design in this country, and it seems to me that people actually look to golf on Stanley Thompson courses.
Stanley Thompson, and rightfully so, is considered our best, and there are several architects that have made a career out of renovating his masterpieces. Stanley Thompson, like many other architects, has his own thumbprint, and when you play a Stanley Thompson golf course, there are some things that you're gonna feel and experience throughout the golf round, and he did a really good job, a great job in fact, of creating golf courses that were able to challenge the best players, yet be very playable for players of all levels. And that's not always easy to do.
Now, let's talk about the golf course today. We go back on history, we know how it was created and when it was created, but talk a little bit about today's course, today's quality, and today's progress that may have taken place over the last number of decades, years, days.
Since the time we were built, the golf course has evolved, and you deal with challenges that are presented often based on your geography. And Manitoba being a flat area, we are fortunate to be near a river and also to have some valleys within the golf course. One of our biggest challenges over the years was drainage and getting the water off the golf course. In 2005, we hired a company to come in and do a full drainage system underneath our golf course. Essentially, they laid 40 miles of pipe underneath the course, and it took all the issues that we had with water, and they disappeared overnight. It was unbelievable.
And one of the things that listeners will recognize when I talked to some of the other people I interviewed for this podcast, virtually everyone talked about the amazing drainage and the reality that at Niakwa, you really don't have rain days.
We're always open for play. It's the greatest investment we ever made in the golf course. It's not just that we're open to play. The conditions are great, always. We can always send people out with golf carts. We have no fear of them damaging the course because of the drainage. And because of our ability to manage this moisture, we're able to keep top conditions all the time. We don't have areas that get hurt or damaged because of the moisture.
The valleys and the river have actually contributed to making a more beautiful course as well.
You get to see the river on about 4 holes, and we call that area the Horn. It's a bit famous around Niakwa because of the big tournaments that we've hosted over the years and the quality of those holes in around the river. They've been played and enjoyed by the top players in the game, whether it's Hogan or Snead, Mo Norman, one of our Canadian golfers who everyone in Canada will recognize the name, which is synonymous with maybe some of the best ball striking ever seen. But they all commented after playing the golf course on how strong those holes were.
In this podcast, I have asked a number of people that I have talked to about the difficulty or ease in integrating into Niakwa when they decide to join. And the responses have been very, very positive. So if you don't mind giving an overview of Niakwa and its degree of friendliness and how integration is facilitated and how people are able to basically respond in so many cases that they found the welcome to Niakwa fantastic, and they were very quickly able to become an integral part of what was taking place there.
It comes down to the people. And when I say the people, I mean the members. We have an absolutely fantastic membership who are very welcoming and open to meeting new people and allowing them to share the experience with them. They bring everyone into the fold and allow them to start their journey and share their experiences together. The other thing that the other side of the people factor are our staff. And we spend a lot of time and a lot of effort in making sure that each member that comes through the door has a good understanding of the club and understanding the programs and the offerings, and then making sure that they're comfortable so they can go out and enjoy the facility. And that even extends to understanding what type of golf they're interested in, whether it's competitive or social, what their level of play is. And then we can direct them to the programs which really will fit their needs the best.
From many of the people that listeners will hear from, there seems to be a very open and welcoming culture from the existing members whenever a new person chooses to join Niakwa.
You know, Ron, I really like that you use the word culture, because I think that truly describes the way that our members embrace new people and their openness to sharing their experience. I don't know whether it has to do with the design of the facilities, being with the having a nice outdoor patio that's so close to the 18th hole and the first hole, where there's a lot of interaction with the members. But, there's a real camaraderie and a sense of wanting to share with others. And we've been very fortunate. It's been so easy to help new members come in and find a group that they'll enjoy playing with.
It seems to be from a feedback, not just from regular members, but from guests who come to Niakwa for a tournament or just as guests of members, the patio at Niakwa is getting rave reviews.
As well as should. It's the best in the city. Not everyone has access to it because it is a private club. But when people experience it for the first time, it literally blows their mind. It's an amazing design which allows for great views everywhere, and you're in this beautiful parkland setting within the city, yet you feel like you're away from it all. With it being multi-level, you have an area that you can enjoy a fine dining experience on the upper level, where on the bottom level you have your own private bar, a little more relaxed seating. This is where golfers like to spend some time after playing. It's such a great environment.
It really is. Now, let's talk a little bit about the social part of Niakwa. Whether or not the spouse, male or female, is the primary member, talk about the social aspect of Niakwa, how it is able to facilitate new members, and how the spouse, whether they're a playing spouse or a non-playing spouse, can easily integrate into what is this Niakwa feeling.
We include spouses at every level, and sometimes they're playing, but sometimes they're not. But they're definitely a part of the equation. We want to make sure that the family, whether that be the spouse or including children, that everyone has the opportunity to enjoy the club. It's very, very important that this is a family affair and that everyone has an opportunity to feel what Niakwa is all about. We believe that the more that they experience the club, the better the chances are that they're going to want to enjoy other aspects of it, say the golf or even just the dining and social side.
David Schellenberg is a young man who joined Niakwa just over a year ago. I wanted to know why he joined Niakwa and how the early experiences in the first year have been for him. How has he enjoyed it? What has it meant to him? And so my first question to him was, what prompted him to join the Niakwa Country Club?
Last year was my first year as a member at the club. I had golfed here previously as a guest, and I just the facility itself and the couple times that I was here and golfed and met a couple of the guys, and I just felt like it was a good fit for me. So my first year was absolutely fantastic.
Now, how did you find the integration? One of the things that we find when people join almost any club, but particularly golf clubs, the idea of becoming integrated quickly and finding people to golf with. How did you find the integration into Niakwa?
I found the integration, well, first of all, it's kind of a two-sided thing. You have to take the initiative. If you want to be involved in a club, you have to sign up for certain things and try to get involved. And that's exactly what I did. I got involved with the 4 men's majors and with lessons and different tournaments. And so as I started to do that, I just found that my golfing skills really didn't matter who I golfed with, and I never was made to feel that I was, slowing anybody down. I was made to feel very comfortable with everybody that I golfed with. So integration was great. The members welcomed me, and, it was really good.
You mentioned also that you went into a number of tournaments. Did you meet different people you didn't know at those various tournaments, whether it was men's nights or any of the others?
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, through those evenings, I ended up finding regular partners to golf with throughout the season. And we would get together at least once a week. And so that worked out great. And it just kind of snowballed. And I started to meet more people, golf with more people, and it's been great. My wife, who doesn't golf, but she comes here regularly with me to have meals and different evenings, social evenings that are here. We ended up coming to a music night, and it was just a beautiful evening. The music was fantastic, the food was great, and again, I got to meet more people. And the social side is very warm and very friendly, very opening. So, yes, I enjoy the social side of Niakwa as well.
Some people have come to the club and commented on our patio.
If anybody's been to the patio, you really don't need to say anything. It speaks for itself. It is a comfortable atmosphere. You've got a great view of the 18th green, people coming in, people walking by, going to the tent. There's always a little bit of chit-chat. And then if you want to have a meal outside, the service is good, the food's fantastic, and the atmosphere is extremely relaxing, very comfortable.
How have you found the maintenance, the upkeep, the progress in terms of anything new along the way? How would you define how Niakwa takes care of the golf club?
Well, the golf course itself, I found it personally to be in fantastic shape. And I see the guys out working hard, all the way from the pro shop right down to the bag drop and the young guys and girls in the bag room. So if anybody would come to me and ask me what it's been like being a member at Niakwa, I would say the people are fantastic. The management I found to be very welcoming. The membership was extremely welcoming as well. The facilities that you have here, practice facilities, the driving range, the putting green, the different things that you can access here to improve your game, it just fit right in for me. So it's been a great fit for me, and I would say that to anybody who's looking for social, for golf, and for practice and lessons and whatnot.
My next guest is Dennis Wall. Dennis was a former Winnipegger who did not belong to a golf club when he first lived in Winnipeg. He went away and did join a golf club in the city that he lived in for a number of years. And when he came back, he was looking for a golf course where he would decide to make his permanent golf home now that he was back in what was his hometown. Let's hear what he has to say. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved and how long you've been at Niakwa.
I started at Niakwa, so a little over a year now. My wife and I had recently relocated to Winnipeg. I wanted to join a club and knew about Niakwa from my previous time here in Winnipeg, and immediately went and looked at it and liked it.
Now, when you came in, one of the biggest concerns that people have when they join a new golf club is integration. Can you give me an idea of how you felt the smoothness of integration was?
It was pretty simple, actually. They have a system where you can put your name down online, pick a tee time, and if there's a space available, you just put your name in, and then they give you a confirmation, and you show up and you play with whoever you were playing with at that time. The club is pretty open, so most members were very welcoming. Lots of times I would come out just by myself without putting my name down, and have several opportunities to join other members who are on the tee waiting to tee off. It is a very friendly club. The membership was very welcoming. The management was very welcoming. I'm now involved with a couple of groups that I play with. One's on Wednesday, one on Saturday. And again, I got hooked up with these people just through showing up and playing with a couple, and then was invited to join the group. And it's been a wonderful experience.
How about the club itself? How about the sense of the golf course? What's your perception of the golf course itself, its maintenance, its upkeep, the things that people expect from a golf course?
I had been a member at the Edmonton Country Club and had gotten used to playing at a well-maintained, well-designed course. And that's one of the reasons why I was looking for a private course when we moved back to Winnipeg. So when I went to Niakwa and looked at the condition of the fairways and the tees, that kind of thing, I felt, I was back to where I'd have an opportunity to play on a well-maintained course, and that's what was important to me.
Has it fulfilled it?
Absolutely. It's a great course. They're redoing a couple of the greens this year, but they'll be in great shape next year.
What about the other side of the club, the social side, meeting with people after the game? I mean, let's face it, the game itself is what golf is all about, but that general sense of belonging, that general sense of being at home often comes from what happens after the game. How has that been for you?
With these groups that I'm playing with on Wednesday and Saturday, there's always a social function after the game. So we all get together after we've finished our rounds and have a couple of beers and some dinner or maybe just some breakfast. So it's been pretty good that way as well.
Now, if you knew someone else was coming into town, talk a little bit about how you would talk to someone who was like yourself coming into Winnipeg and thinking about a golf club.
I'd tell them all about the course, like I've told you, with regards to how it's designed. If it's a walking course that's important to you, this is a walking course.
Finally, food service, banquet service to the degree you get involved with it. What's your sense of the clubhouse, its service, its quality of food, and those attendant things that go with it?
The food is very good. The service is excellent. All of the serving staff, they all remember all the members' names all the time. So I really feel it's very apt.
The Niakwa Golf Club is a very open club to all members, whether it's male or females, and the women have a very important place whether they choose to join as a spouse or whether they choose to be the prime member. Let's listen to one of those people talk about her experiences at Niakwa. Andrea Jackson is a relatively new member to Niakwa, but the story is bigger than that because a long time ago, Andrea was a member when she was a little younger. So Andrea, tell us about your history as related to the Niakwa Country Club.
My great-grandfather was a member of the club. My great-uncle was a member of the club as well, as was my father. So I guess you could say that Niakwa has been part of my life for even before I was born. I was a junior member for a number of years, but at the age of 12, I adamantly decided that golf was a silly sport and served no purpose in my life, and I decided to quit. But as I started working, I kind of missed the social aspect of the club. I missed golf, so I decided to take it up again.
Obviously, because of your history, going to Niakwa was an easy choice, or I assume a relatively easy choice. But tell me how kind of the re-entry to Niakwa was, the integration, because very often we have members where the spouse, the female spouse, is very often the second member, but you chose to join as a primary member. So give me an idea of how the reintegration was coming back to Niakwa.
It was awesome. They have taken a lot of initiative to really welcome new members, and it was a really special feeling for me as all of the members I really felt came out of their way to get to know me personally and make that effort to welcome me back to the club. They did host a new member golf day that was just a fun 9 and dine. That was early in, I believe that was in early June, so that was a really fun kickoff. They always kept me informed about events that were coming on, and they actually even hosted some ladies-only golf lessons with the pro. Again, some fun lessons, some fun 9 and dine, and of course the patio there is amazing, so who wouldn't want to come and give that a try and then sit on the patio and get to know all the members afterwards too. So I've had an incredibly positive experience with re-entry, and it's the little personal touches that have made it so great.
For people who aren't members yet, they can't quite appreciate what the patio at Niakwa was all about. Talk about it a bit.
The patio is perfect, and as a guest that I took out earlier this year mentioned, sometimes that first tee can be a touch intimidating because you see everyone sitting out on the patio and it feels like they're watching you. But it is really such a great social atmosphere because, A, it's incredibly beautiful with the couches and the orange umbrellas and the outdoor bar, and you've got the TV screen that always had the Bomber games on in the summer. The food is phenomenal, and something they've just recently even started is having those music nights on the patio, which is such a fun way. You come out usually on Friday nights, enjoy the beautiful weather, beautiful scenery. You can watch the golfers tee off. You can watch people coming up 18. It's just such a fun social environment.
What about the golf course? Because in the end, when someone does join a golf club, all of the other ancillary benefits are real and important. But how have you found the maintenance, the care, the upkeep of the golf course?
The course is absolutely spectacular, and I think that it's always stayed very true to its Stanley Thompson original architecture, but it's been modernized over the years. It's absolutely spectacular. We have so many huge mature trees around the course. It's challenging every time you play it. It never seems to be the same course as you were out on the day before. There's, I think, different challenges regardless of your level of play. They're always improving it again, as I said, which I think is great. You know, whether it be the drainage system that they added on is awesome. You can go out mere hours after it's been a huge rainstorm and the course is perfectly dry. You'd never even know that it was raining a few moments ago.
That's something I find interesting. I have never seen a course like that where virtually there's no rain days.
There aren't. Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and it sounds like such a nerdy thing to get excited about, but it really means no delays. You can, like I said, you can go out and you would never know that it rained just a few hours before.
So if there was a woman that you ran into and they were considering a golf course, like yourself, perhaps not joining with the spouse because the spouse didn't golf, but if a woman was considering joining the club and asked you about Niakwa, how would you respond?
I have nothing but fabulous things to say, and again, it's not. I don't feel it's a club where you have to be affiliated with someone or have to have that strong tie or connection or history or whatnot. Everyone is so warm. Everyone's so welcoming. They really do make an effort to have events that are fun and engaging, not always dependent on, having a date or having someone there with you, but just all are welcome. It's a fabulous place even just to bring out clients or friends or guests as well. It shows so well. The course is, of course, fun, challenging, beautiful, and just it's such a little piece of paradise in the middle of the city. It's just such a fabulous club to be a part of.
Doug Skoog did not take up golf until he was a little older. And when he got involved, he got to like it, and he decided to look for a golf club. Let's listen to Doug talk about how Niakwa has become an integral part of what he does on a week-to-week basis and how it truly has become his home away from home.
Well, I started golf relatively late in life. I was 62 when I started playing golf. So I looked at various places. Niakwa looked like a place that could really be a home. And it really has become a sort of second home for me. It's a great bunch of people. The course is the kind of course that I was looking for. A course that would be kind to a high handicapper like myself, but yet provide a reasonable challenge for friends of mine who are, 4 or 5 handicappers. So it really has been an important part of my life for the last 5 years.
Talk a little bit about how you got involved and what were the welcoming agents, so to speak, that brought you closer to the people and the organization.
Well, I knew maybe 3 or 4 people who golfed here, but interestingly enough, they were all still working and largely golfed late afternoons. So when I showed up, playing at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, there were about a half a dozen people who, bless their hearts, just adopted me. And really, the group of guys, for the most part, that I golf with today, are guys that I've gotten to know since I've been here. I didn't know them before. And it's turned into a real little cadre of people that I can always count on to get a tee time, always can count on somebody to go out with me. So it really was a great kind of place to end up and to find a home.
Talk to me a little bit about what this golf club has meant to you as an individual, as some associating with people since you joined it and got involved.
It's a place that I can go. I can have a great meal with people that I know, with staff that I know. One of the things that I think perhaps we didn't touch upon was the degree to which the staff here really gets to know people's names, always comes up and says hello. So there are just no lonesome days for me. I wander over to Niakwa and play a little golf and have a bite to eat and interact with people that I've really become very close to.
Now let's go back to another area. There are a number of things about why people join a specific golf club. I think you've given me a sense of the people, but let's expand on the people aspect, but also, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about your feelings about the golf course and its maintenance and its upkeep and what they do that satisfies you from a golf course perspective, even though you're a high handicapper.
Well, 2 things. First, one of the things that I was looking for in a course was a course that would treat a high handicapper like me well. One of the other things that I was looking for was a course that provided the kind of diversity and membership that really reflects Canada. So Niakwa is a club with people of all ages, cultural backgrounds, and so forth, which really to me was terribly important. On to this question about course maintenance and so forth. I've golfed a lot of different golf courses over my short golf career, and Niakwa is quite simply one of the best maintained courses I've ever seen. This club is managed so well, and the number of improvements that have been made in this club in the 5 years that I've been here is just absolutely remarkable. From developing the best patio in all of Winnipeg to some architectural features, that this bridge that they built across to number 1 hole just makes the place look almost old world charm. Now we're redoing a couple of greens that have been problematic. The club built a massive and state-of-the-art maintenance building. There's always something being improved on this golf course. And I think that reflects upon not just management, but also upon the fiscal situation of the club.
Let's just close off with one more thing. Food and beverage is always important. At the end of the game, you're going to have a bite to eat. You're going to have a big meal from time to time with friends. Talk a little bit about both the service and the quality of the food and beverage.
Well, I'm a foodie. When I travel, I research restaurants before I go places. So that was important to me. I think that they've done a great job here with food and beverage service. They've been able to maintain staff really quite well from year to year. There are people that I know. I can say with almost no exceptions, I've never had a bad meal at Niakwa. They change the menu often enough that there's a variety. Service is absolutely top-notch. I greatly enjoy sitting down for dinner with the guys.
Let's close off the show as we go back to an interview with Wade Niebakken, the general manager, as he talks about some of the prime reasons you may want to consider Niakwa, its attributes, what it brings to the members, and why it is so highly regarded by both its members and those from outside the club who hold it in high regard for its reputation of quality and service. So if I were coming to Niakwa for the first time, and I would ask you, what are the primary reasons why I should think about joining the Niakwa Country Club?
Well, I think there are four primary reasons to join and things that set us apart from other clubs. First, I would say the setting. We have world-class golf course and clubhouse amenities. Our course is just perfect. It's a great challenge for a top-level player, but it's also a very nice experience for someone just beginning the game. Our facilities have been fully renovated, as we have done with the golf course, and they provide a very modern yet relaxed and traditional feel. And I think that really allows people to come and enjoy their time and feel like they're getting away from it all. The next, I would say, are the people. We have a fantastic membership. They're extremely welcoming and open to others, and they really enjoy sharing their club with others. Next, I'd say service. We pride ourselves in delivering the best member experience out there. And on top of that, it's not just excellent service. We want to make sure that it's tailored and personalized to the individual. Finally, I would say our location. We're literally just 10 minutes from downtown, yet you still get the feeling of being away from it all. The parkland setting, the tree-lined fairways, it all makes you feel like you're out of the city, yet minutes from downtown.
How could you encapsulate all those attributes you talked about into one or two sentences?
It's all about the feeling, and for us, that means the experience. And everything we do, we want to make sure that people have the best experience from the moment they drive through the gates until they're finished their day, that when they're in their car and they're driving home, that they're just filled with this sense of, that was the best day I've ever had at a club or on the golf course. And I would like to spend every day enjoying that experience.
If you like what you've heard today and would like to learn more, give Wade a call and come over and meet him and some of the members. Look around the facility and try the food and the service. As were the rest of us, I'm certain you'll like what you see and make Niakwa Country Club your golf home, just as I and the people you heard today also did.